Beach dress, beach kimono or beach cover-up, it doesn't matter how you call it, but it's really useful if you need to go and get something to the kiosk or if you forgot something in the car, and we're going to make a really easy one. I've had this piece of material for ages. I got it of course in the remnant box at my local fabric store, and I wanted it to make a summer dress, but then I realized it was completely see-through. So I left it there, and I think it's ideal for this project. It's massive. I have almost 2 meters, and it must have been a 2.40 meter roll, so it's huge. And I think it's curtain stuff. It's a curtain net, but I think it's good for this. And the nice thing is that it has this detail all along one of the selvage edges that I want to use as a hem. It doesn't matter to use it cross-grain because I think this must be synthetic because it's the same both ways. So let's go ahead. I'm going to fold the fabric towards the center so I can get a neckline that I'm going to hem with a double hem. And once the sleeves and sides are traced, I can sew them with a French seam. So I can then hem the sleeves, and to finish it I'm going to sew half a casing on the back, in which I'm going to insert a belt made out of the same fabric. Let's see if I can explain myself properly. Because I have almost 2 meters of this selvage edge, I'm going to use as much as I can, all of it, so the dress has a lot of volume and flow to it. So I'm going to measure myself to see how long I need it. I want to make it down to the floor, so I can then measure this. And to measure myself, when you're measuring yourself on your own, it's really good, it's a good tip to put the measuring tape upside down. I mean, you put the 0 on the floor and then you measure up, and that way you don't have to lean or bend or anything. So I will be needing like 1.40 meters. And all this rectangle of material needs some shape and some sleeves. I need sleeves, and to make them I'm going down on the edge 25 centimeters, well 26 for seam allowance, and in another 25 centimeters, so I can then go down diagonally so the skirt doesn't lose any volume. And I'm going to be basting all this so I don't have any problem, and I'll be making French seams. Why French seams? Because everything goes inside and I won't have any fraying problems. And to make the French seam you need to sew everything right size out, so then when you put it right size in and sew a second seam, everything will be in there. Some people don't like it because they think it's a bit bulky, but it's a thin material and it's something loose, so it's not a problem. Of course I have white thread, and I'm going to sew in a straight stitch and a long one. After this I'm going to be hemming the front with a double hem, and the same with the shoulders before sewing them together. And to finish the sleeves they need a double hem as well. It doesn't look like it, but I've ironed it a few times We could leave it as it is. It's finished, it's hemmed everywhere, it doesn't have much to it, it's just a loose kimono, but I want something to tie it up, so I'm going to make a belt, sort of belt inside a canal, so it's a bit tighter to the body. For the belt I need how high I wanted it to be, so it will be at 37 centimeters, and then at that height I want to know how much fabric I need, and it is from seam to seam 60 centimeters long. So I'm going to be cutting a bit more, a bit wider, so then I can hem it as well. And for the belt I'll be cutting a thinner piece of material and folding it twice to sew it together and put it in there. And this is the final result. It's just as I planned it. I'm really pleased with it. Of course you can make different versions, you can make it all closed on the front, but maybe that's a tunic instead of a kimono. And you can make different length sleeves or different length of the whole thing. But I really like it. I think it looks quite chic, and I love how I use the selvage edge on the bottom as a hem, because that way you don't have to hem it, and apart from that it had this nice detail, otherwise I wouldn't have made the most of. So I'm quite pleased with it. I think the French seam is quite good because on this case, because the material is this see-through, you don't see any hems or any seams or any threads going around. So I think it looks quite neat. And I love the back. I love how I put the band inside this case, inside this belt thing, because that way it gathers and it looks quite neat. Of course you can also sew the belt on top of the kimono, but I think this way it looks quite nice. Or you can also as well tie them on the front only, put some little ones on the front, and that way it will be a bit looser. But I wanted it a bit tighter, so I think it looks cool. So let me know down in the comments your thoughts, and if you have used a selvage edge in a different way to make the most of your sewing. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot, and that way you don't miss anything. And you can also like and share with someone who might like this kind of content. And I leave you two links anyways, one of this swimming costume I made last year and another one of a dress, the coral dress, in which I used the selvage edge as a hem. Bye!